I never thought I'd become the villain in my own neighborhood story, but here we are. My name is Kenneth. I'm just a regular guy who moved to this quiet suburban cul-de-sac 2 years ago for some peace. I work from home as a software engineer. I keep my lawn mowed. I wave at my neighbors. That's it. Until Karen decided I was public enemy number one. It started with a polite knock on my door one Tuesday afternoon. The sun was blazing. The smell of fresh-cut grass hung in the air. I opened up to find her standing there. Karen, the HOA president. Perfectly coiffed blonde hair. Clipboard in hand like it was a weapon. "Mr. Kenneth," she said with that fake sweet smile. "Your grass is 0.2 inches too long according to section 4.7 of the covenants. Fix it by Friday or we'll fine you." I blinked 0.2 inches that I almost laughed, but I nodded politely. "Sure, Karen." That was mistake number one, that's showing weakness. From that day on, the complaints poured in like clockwork. My trash cans were out 2 minutes past pickup time. My holiday light stayed up 3 days too long after New Year's. One time she even measured the height of my mailbox. It was off by ½ an inch. I tried to stay calm. I really did. I fixed every single thing. But Karen wasn't satisfied with compliance. She wanted control. Then came the day everything exploded. It was a bright Saturday morning. The kind where birds chirp and kids ride bikes. My niece Emily was visiting from out of town. She's 14. Sweetest kid you'll ever meet. Born with a rare neuromuscular disorder. She uses a wheelchair. We were out front. I was helping her adjust her new adaptive bike attachment. She was laughing. The sun felt warm on our skin. Neighbors waved as they walked their dogs. That's when Karen appeared, marching down the sidewalk like she owned the street. Her face was already twisted in that signature scowl. "Excuse me," she barked. "This is a violation. Section 8.3 clearly states no recreational equipment may be left in driveways or common areas." I looked at the adaptive bike. It was literally attached to Emily's wheelchair, not left anywhere. "Karen," I said evenly, "this is medical equipment for my niece. She's disabled, but it's not recreational." She didn't even glance at Emily. Her eyes stayed locked on me. Rules are rules. "Kenneth, that I don't make exceptions for sob stories." Emily shrank back in her chair. Her hands gripped the wheels tightly. I could see her breathing faster. I took a slow breath. The air suddenly felt thicker. "She's not a sob story. She's family. Back off." Karen stepped closer. Her perfume was overpowering, like cheap flowers mixed with entitlement. Then it happened. In one swift, insane motion, Karen reached down and grabbed the handles of Emily's wheelchair. She yanked hard, trying to pull my niece right out of her seat onto the pavement. Emily let out a sharp cry. Her body lurched forward. The straps held but her legs dragged awkwardly. I froze for half a second. Pure shock. "What the hell are you doing?" I shouted. Karen's face was red with rage. "This chair is blocking the sidewalk. It's a hazard." She pulled again. Harder. Emily started crying. Quiet, terrified sobs. That's when I saw red. I stepped between them fast. My voice stayed calm but ice cold. "Touch her again and this goes way beyond HOA fines." Karen sneered. "You think you're special? I run this neighborhood." She reached for the chair one more time. But she never got there. Out of nowhere, from the community patrol rounded the corner. They'd been driving by on their regular route. They saw the whole thing. "Step away from the girl right now," the taller guard barked.
I'm calling the HOA.
Karen spun around, her mouth opened in outrage. "Do you know who I am? I'm the HOA president. This man is in violation." The second guard moved quickly. He gently helped Emily back into a stable position. His voice was kind.
"Thank you."
"You okay?" Emily nodded, tears still streaming. But she looked at Karen with wide, scared eyes. I pulled out my phone. Started recording. My hands were shaking but my voice was steady. "You're on camera, Karen. Pulling a disabled child from her wheelchair. In front of witnesses." Karen's face went from red to ghostly white. She finally looked at Emily. Really looked. For the first time, something like doubt flickered across her features. But it was too late. The guards radioed it in. Within minutes, 2 police cruisers pulled up. Blue lights flashing silently in the bright daylight. Neighbors started gathering at the edges of their lawns.
We're cooperating fully,
Phones out.
officer. There must be some
Wildfire. Karen tried to spin it. "This is harassment. He's using his niece as a prop to break rules." The lead officer wasn't having it. "Ma'am, we have multiple witnesses and video. You physically assaulted a minor with a disability. That's not an HOA matter anymore." I stood there watching, heart pounding. The smell of exhaust from the police cars mixed with the sweet suburban air. It felt surreal. Karen's voice rose higher. "You can't do this. I know the mayor. I'll have your badges." The officers simply cuffed her. Right there on my driveway. Her perfect hair coming undone. Clipboard clattering to the ground. That's when the real show started. Because I hadn't just been sitting around waiting. For months, I'd been documenting everything. Every complaint. Every fine. Every late-night email. I had screenshots. Timestamps. Even recordings of her screaming at other neighbors over petty nonsense. I quietly submitted it all to the HOA board the next day, along with the police report. The board meeting that week was legendary. Karen showed up thinking she could bully her way through. Still acting like the queen of the cul-de-sac. But the other board members had seen the video. It went viral in our neighborhood group chat. One by one, they turned on her. "You physically harmed a child, Karen." The vice president said it flat. "No amount of rules justifies that." Karen sputtered. "It was just a wheelchair. She was fine." I stood up in the back of the room. My voice carried clear across the silence. "You didn't even look at her face while you were doing it. That's what scares me most." The room went dead quiet. Karen's eyes met mine. For the first time, she looked small. The vote was unanimous. She was removed as president effective immediately, banned from serving on any future board. The fines against me? All dropped. Retroactively. 2 weeks later, a moving truck showed up at her house. Turns out several families filed complaints with the city, citing harassment and creating a hostile environment. Karen moved out quietly one rainy Thursday. No fanfare. Just the sound of tires on wet pavement. Now the neighborhood feels different. Kids play outside again without fear of citations. My niece Emily comes to visit regularly. She even rides her adaptive bike down the sidewalk freely. I sit on my porch some evenings, sipping coffee, watching the sunset paint the houses gold. And I think about Karen. She didn't lose because of one bad moment. She lost because she built her entire identity on tiny tyrannies. On the illusion that power over grass length and mailbox height somehow made her important. Turns out, when you pull a disabled girl from her chair in front of the wrong witnesses, the universe has a way of measuring back. And it doesn't use a ruler.